Nash, welcome. How you doing?
Doing great, man. What about you?
I'm doing great. I'm so glad you could hop on today. You've been a Content Circle member for 5 months now, somewhere around there.
Around there, yeah, 4 or 5 months.
But yeah, I mean, you've been absolutely crushing lately, and I just wanted to get into your content journey, how you're able to do 5 figures a month, and just learn about you and what your plan is. So introduce us to yourself and how you got into content.
All right, so I'm Nash. I've been doing content probably for about 5 6 months. When I met Owen, started posting, didn't know what I was doing. Met Owen, joined his community, and then started posting from there. It was a journey, yeah. I mean, first 2 months I actually made nothing. Got screwed over. It was a journey, but made it all the way to around like 13 14K. I have as of now 17 deals. Been reaching out and everything, just cracked. It's crazy.
That's insane. Good stuff. Yeah, there's the problem with when you work with companies is, if you like a lot of them are just not the most like you would think like, oh, this is a big company, they're gonna pay on time and all that stuff. Sometimes it's not like that.
No, it's not like that. No.
Sometimes it can be rough. But
Yeah.
um yeah, I'm glad you did that. Do you remember how we met?
Yes, bro. Right outside of Huron, bro. Right in front of your apartment.
Yeah,
Just on some random night. That was crazy.
that was hilarious. I remember I was sitting out there with Brian Delmata, is a good
Yes.
friend of mine, and he walked by with Thomas, and yeah, we just talked, and you're like, oh yeah, I do content a little bit, and who would have thought that
Who would
that
have
was
thought, bro?
what was your goal with content? Like, did you want to make money from it, or did you
I
want to?
did, yes. I wanted to make money, but I had just no idea. Like, I had no idea. I was just like, I'm posting. Hopefully something will come.
Yeah,
Just, I had no idea, no direction. But, yeah.
that's exactly how I started. How many hours a day do you think it took you to kind of like get to this point? Not just for your personal brand, but for doing UGC specifically.
For UGC, probably like 2 3 hours a
Wow.
day. It's
And
not really.
so what exactly are you doing in those 2 to 3 hours? Like many people, still don't know what UGC is. So what would you?
So in those 2 to 3 hours, so as of right now, I have three phones, right? So in those 2 3 hours, I do it. This is how I do it. It's my time is a little differently. People could say, "Oh, batched and everything," but for those 2 3 hours, I'll grab one phone and I'll go through the account and I'll post and I'll uh I'll post what the company wants, the creative manager, what he wants me to post for that format. Or in some brands, I'm actually ripping it, so they just let me free ball and post whatever I want. So then I'll just go and post, and then when I'm done, I'm done. I gotta get it done.
A couple things there. One, what do you prefer as a creator? Do you prefer like more freedom, or do you prefer like scripts being given to you?
So I'd rather prefer scripts given to me. You know, if I see that I find something that rips, I'll like to, venture off on my own. But I do like to do what the format. It works most of the time because the creative managers, they work hard and they give good ideas. So it does work. So I do like when they're provided for me.
Okay, cool. That's good to know because I've done both. And yeah, I think a little bit of formatting like really helps. Uh,
Yeah.
for sure. But at the end of the day, I think creators should have more freedom
Right.
because they're just the ones behind the camera. Um,
Yeah.
but really interesting. And then for UGC, you said you're making videos for brands, but like, if I'm completely new to this space, I wouldn't even know like what that means. So how are you even finding these deals without like a huge personal brand? Like, walk me through if you had nothing right now, how would you get to 10K per month?
So if I had nothing right now, what I would do is I would download an app. I would download either it's like an app like SideShift, right? And I would go and create a profile. I'd create a portfolio, some mock videos. And, you don't even have to like basically have a deal with them. You can just literally promote that product. Put that on your portfolio, do some outbound, go on Twitter, look at the best top apps that are performing, DM them, and just really put yourself out there. Yeah, like for me, I did a lot of outbound. I DM'd as much, bro. I was sending like 300 DMs a day on Instagram. I was on Twitter. Side shift literally maxed out every day applying. So I was hungry. So you have to obviously go out and get it. But once you're in a groove, bro, the deals come to you. Like after you had posted a win, I had someone say, "Oh, I see you're ripping." Another agency says, "Oh, my friend told me that you're ripping in his agency. Come in here." So
Yeah,
once you start, it's a snowball effect.
huge snowball effect. Um, what, how, how, how much money do you get from like each deal? Um, and do you feel like, you know, like there's a cap to how many you can take?
So right now I probably average 8 to 900 a deal. My lowest deal is actually 750 a month. My highest right now is 1200 a month with a $2 CPM. So, I mean, I would say there is not a cap because if you have a big personal brand, you can obviously charge a lot, but there's obviously not a cap. And I would say there's not a cap for how much you can have because if you really want the money and you really want this, bro, it's 2, 3, 4 hours. Just work hard, bro.
100%. Two,
Just
three
be
hours is nothing. I mean, it used to be if you could make, 13, 15K a month just doing 2 hours of work a day, like that's a super desirable thing. I just don't think people even still don't know about UGC, really,
no.
which is crazy. So, um, and then in terms of getting your deals, you said you did a lot of outbound. Did you also get any from Content Circle, or is it mostly just like once you had one viral video, then you were able to like leverage that to get more deals from different agencies?
No, Content Circle, they've been handing out deals from the start. They always there's always jobs in there. I've actually got a couple from there. Plutus has actually been a great one where I have like five with them. So
Okay,
it's a
awesome.
great company. But
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah, we love working with Plutus. Like they're everything we've heard from them, from creators, from working with them directly. I just did a podcast with Alex, the founder of Plutus, and they've been incredible. And they work with really really good companies that are funded, so it makes the whole thing smoother because they take payments up front, so it's easier to pay creators, and it just seems like a really good uh, beneficial relationship when we have a lot of good trained creators in Content Circle, and then an agency like Plutus able to bring those deals in, which is awesome. So, and then do you get any inbound deals now through your personal brand, or is it all through like word of mouth referral? Like, how does that look?
I would say it's both really. So I do have a small little personal brand, nothing crazy. It's like 20K on Instagram, but that does help. So yeah, you don't need a personal brand, but it does help to have one.
It does help a ton.
It
Like
does.
usually UGC brands are looking for people like 5 to 20K followers because um, that's just kind of like the sweet spot of someone that's gone viral before and then is good at content, but also is willing to work. Like you don't have a huge ego where you're
Right.
like an influencer and you're like, I'm only going to do it for like 5 grand for a post. So you're still good making 15K a month, for a couple hours of work a day. And so that's kind of like what brands want is that. And if you're able to do that and get like a little bit of a personal brand snowball, you can absolutely rip. So that's one thing I tell most UGC creators because they always ask me, how do you get the big deals? Like my biggest deals were 2K per video. And I just had tens of thousands of followers at that point. I had like 50K or 100K followers. So it was a little bit easier. But if you don't have that, then this is like kind of what you have to do until you get there.
Exactly. This is like the roadmap.
Right.
Starting. Yes.
And so, one thing with you is you've been able to do this and make a career literally from an iPhone in what, 5 months, basically.
Yeah. Like four
Yeah.
comments. Yeah.
Yeah, insane. What do you want to do next? There's many different paths that a UGC creator can take.
What I want to do next. I've either thought about an app or obviously the agency. That's what's next in the UGC world.
Yeah, I think both are great. I've done both, and agency is nice because if you sign a client, you can sign them for 20K or 30K or 50K. I mean, there's big agency deals out there for sure. And so, if you're able to either make content, personal brand content to put yourself in the shoes of those founders that are looking to grow, and explain what you've done and why it works, that can be super, super helpful. Um, and then obviously the app, that's kind of more my focus now. I think it's cool. Like building a product, I think is really cool.
Yeah.
So, but at the same time, our app, we have some decent revenue, I'm not going to see any of it for a while because I'm just going to turn around and spend it on creators every month.
Right. Yeah.
So it depends. Do you want the cash now or do you want it later? You can kind of do both. That's the great thing with UGC is you've built the skill set of learning how to sell through content. There's probably nothing more important, I would think, going into 2026 than that.
Totally agree. 100%.
Fire. Um, in terms of fitness stuff, I know you wanted to do that for a bit. Where's your brain on that versus UGC?
So, that's something I still want to do. So I want to do the online fitness coaching. I want to do high ticket sales, selling a program. I've sold 2 to 3 clients so far with that. I would love to match it or even like surpass. That's what like in 2 years I would love to just be doing that for like a good year or two and just help a lot of people out. But that's where we're at right now. But UGC's crushing it, so I'm just putting a lot of energy into that.
I bet people would ask, like, why would you switch from UGC and do that if you are making good money? Like, why not just do UGC for a while? Or, like, is there like a certain monthly income goal that you have to hit kind of thing?
Yeah, I want next year the goal is 100K a month. So I want to I've met and I've talked to a bunch of people like Craig and some other guys who are in this world, and it's doable, and I know it's doable, so I want to take on that challenge. And
Shout out
yeah,
to Greg.
yeah, shout out Craig. That guy's a beast.
Yeah, Tampa has a lot of killers like that, like guys that are, young and just dogs, just work all the time.
Yes,
Um, Craig has done a great job positioning himself to the right audience to sell his fitness offer because it is a very high ticket, and you can only do that if you're selling to the right, target audience,
exactly.
which
That's
is
the
smart.
biggest thing right now. Yeah.
Um, but yeah, I mean, as for UGC, like if I looked at you objectively, I think you're an incredible creator, um, and so if you were to build a product or if you were to run the agency, I bet you could do 100K a month. For instance, Colin was a UGC creator, and now he does 150K a month.
Yes, that is
I
true.
think it's very realistic for you to go that
Yes.
path as well, and it might even be easier because Colin was a UGC creator and he got this client Go Wish, which is an app, and he got them 50K or 80K downloads in a day, and he posted that on Twitter, opened up his sales calendar, and then a bunch of people will book calls with him. So like, yo, I'd love to work with you, and he pitched them all at his high ticket thing, and he signed like a bunch of clients in a week, and made 150 grand. You know, um,
Disgusting.
I know, but that's like a very real thing. And
Yes.
if you're a good UGC creator, that's the next step up.
Okay.
Because you're now not just making content, but you're managing creators with the same skill set. So your work level stays the same. You'll do 2 to 3 hours of work a day, but now you have all these videos going out instead of just your own. And then the great thing too is it's not even your money. Like you're using the brand's money to pay the creators. Um, yeah, so just a super interesting path that you could do, especially if you got on Twitter and you started doing case studies like I'm a UGC creator and I made 13K this month, 15K or whatever. Like just simple tweets like that and interacting with those people, I bet you could easily, run that up as well.
Yeah, I've thought about that too. I'm really interested in that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
there's not a lot off the table for you, at this point. Like there's many different directions you can go, and I'm hyped to see you do it. Um, as for Content Circle, because when you joined, you were like, is this even like a thing? Is it possible? I think Thomas had told you like he got 10K in his first 32 days or something. Um, but what do you think you like most about Content Circle as a UGC community?
Man, I just love, well, first things first. Well, before I was really skeptical about joining. I remember having this conversation with you. I'm like, bruh, I even thought 250 a month was a lot. $250. I was like, bruh, I don't know if I can do it. I was making chump money. And then you were like, bro, I'm telling you, just do it. And bro, you're 10xing, bro. You're gonna make 5, 10K. And I was like, all right, bet. Did that. But the thing I love about content, bro, everyone just wants to win. And everyone wants to see everybody win. It's like, bro, it's like we're family. It's like we've known each other. It's like a great community. You can say anything. You're always gonna laugh. It's just everyone wants to crush and win together. Love this environment.
Thanks, man. Yeah, I love Content Circle. When I first started it, I didn't know it could grow to something like that, but there's really, really good people in there. So I feel like we've been fortunate to just have people like you join, and just run it up. It's inspiring to see. And like when you post stuff in there, everyone else gets excited too. They're like, oh yeah, like Nash is crushing. I'm gonna turn it up a little bit.
Yeah, and it just feeds the fire. It's
Yeah,
great.
it's really cool to see. And yeah, I don't know, just proud that you're there.
Appreciate that. Yeah.
um, yeah, when I was like 250 a month. I'm like, Nash, I have deals right now with brands. I promise you can do much more than that. Um, and especially because you had like that little bit of a following. I don't know, it was like 8-10K at the time.
Yeah. Yeah.
um, I was like, dude, I promise you brands are going to be interested in this because you're used to posting, you're used to being consistent, you've gotten views on videos before, and you like it, like that. Those are all signs that brands look for to bet on a UGC creator. um, and so I don't know, I'm glad you took the risk. Continue to do that in your life, and you're going to be great. All right, Nash, thank you for joining. Appreciate you, and let's have a great year in 2026.
Yes, sir. Appreciate having me.
Later.